Welcome to the Echo Sportscast, lucky number 13.
I'm Paul McLean.
And I'm Dave Dale. Today's show features a basketball win for the Ravens, a volleyball victory for the Bears, and a hockey puck drop update.
High school interviews include Olivia Mancari, captain of the St. Joseph-Scollard Hall senior girls volleyball team, Seamus Gagne, captain of Chippewa's senior boys basketball, and assistant coach Mike Mitchell, who says that the NDA on-court product is benefiting greatly from the Spartans rep basketball program for intermediate age players.
Our Spotlight interview explores the popularity of billiards with Partners owner Bonnie Zufelt, who's also a former ladies fastball provincial champion, and she's going to help give us a little bit of a heritage moment on North Bay's fastball roots.
We're going to follow up that great interview with a good look at how the local hockey teams from the Junior Lakers did this past weekend. It was a big weekend for them with many teams out of town, and we've got some of the results.
And we discussed some of the best options for naming the new Twin Pad Community Center being built at the Steve O'Michel Sports Fields Complex, which I guess they're going to have to take the fields part off of that name, or they're going to have to, they're going to have to get creative.
I'm sure they'll find a committee for that.
Yeah.
Before all of that, however, we're going to hear from our title sponsor, North Bay Toyota.
It's time to Toyota at North Bay Toyota. Attention truck lovers, have you been Tundra struck? The powerful and dependable Toyota Tundra is the new definition of grit. Ask us about amazing lease deals on a 2025 Tundra Double Cap SR 4-wheel drive and experience ingenious levels of capability, technology, and refinement. Or maybe you're an SUV lover? Take advantage of a limited shipment of 2025 RAV4s and discover the perfect blend of style, comfort, and efficiency in a compact SUV that ignites your desire to explore. Right now, get excellent lease deals on the Toyota RAV4 LE all-wheel drive and more. It's time to Toyota at North Bay Toyota, 640 McEwen, or online at northbaytoyota.com for details.
Well, first up, NDA Senior Girls Volleyball. I saw some really good volleyball over at Chippewa. They gave the Bears a run for their money, but the Schollards are a pretty tough team, and they weren't too worried about getting down. They came back, and they were able to take them really good.
We've got some really strong girls volleyball. I think that's a big part of the the club programs and stuff. And I think I've said this before. Like, I'm watching what's going on at like grade 7, 8 volleyball, and you can see how they'll reach that point because there's great coaching down there, and it's been a fantastic sport. So lots of kids joining. I think I was talking to somebody. Volleyball is one of the fastest growing sports in Canada, actually, for team sports. So
I could see that.
Yeah.
It's a very social and competitive at the same time sport where the whole family can cheer them on. And I was stand by a couple of families, and everybody was right there. They're right into their volleyball. I'm
very
learning
knowledgeable
more about the strategy and all the rules, and you could see how the game could be very attractive to a lot of people.
Yeah.
One teacher at the Chippewa was saying that I was talking about the Scollard being defending champs, and of course he says, well, if you might, some of their players come up through our grade 7 and 8s, and then they go over to Scollard after because we can't really keep them in Chippewa for various reasons.
Yes,
right?
yeah. Fences around it, or
fences and
hockey programs,
fields, and it doesn't. It's hard to compete with bright, shiny Scollard, at which there's no longer as steep a sort of religious sort of hump for people to get over before they go there.
Case in point,
like that.
My household. I was raised in a Catholic school environment, growing up in Collingwood, and without going into too much, my wife as well, and it just really wasn't something that we particularly saw for our kids. And then, lo and behold, after grade 8 at Algonquin, where my kids have gone to French school, which is just an amazing thing to have in North Bay to do as a parent, to be able to provide that. And all those schools have been fantastic. Anglophone parents are very accepted and very accommodated. But yeah, my daughter jumped for the shiny thing and went over to Scollard too for the hockey program that, we talked to Greg Richardson about, I think. And it becomes a bit of a hard thing for them recruiting. And it's hard because now you don't necessarily have that. And now my kids are coming back talking to me about things they've learned in school about religion. And it's stuff I was like from the womb basically knew about. And you're like, yeah, okay, well, that's what it is. And but yeah, they're dabbling in religion. They don't really have as great an understanding, I think, as anyone who grew up in that system. So they've changed.
Yeah, it was a lot stricter before. So the landscape changes, but the volleyball was great. And I think it went 4 games. Chippewa won the first, and then almost won another one. So it was a good volleyball. You'll see from the highlight video, and really cool interview with Olivia Mancari. So that was Chippewa gave you a good run for your money there in a couple of the games. How did it feel, and did you expect to win?
Honestly, after the first set, not overly, but I'm very glad that we fought back, and I'm very happy with the win.
You guys are the defending champions. How's it feel with the competition so far? Is this your 4th win or 5th?
I think this is our 4th. I'm having a hard time remembering because we've had so many snow days, but I think this is our 4th win, yes.
What's the strength of your team this year?
It's amazing. I love all of the girls, and we play really well together. It's great. It's so much fun.
Is it a lot of veterans? Name some of the players and what you expect that they'll be contributing this year.
We only have 3 seniors, so it's myself, Peyton Wright, and Riley Argue, and the rest are all grade 11 girls. And honestly, it was different because we had more grade 12s last year, and it was only the 3 of us. But this year, it's definitely nice to have some younger girls, and we all have fun together.
How would you describe your team, its strengths?
I would say, as a whole, when we are on, we are really on. Yeah. We have a great time, and when we're playing well together, our energy kind of reflects off of each other, and I think it just makes it so much better.
Even when you're facing some adversity there with Chippewa gaining some points, it seemed like the team didn't have any letdown. It just rolled off your back. Is that how your team is?
Yes, it's very important for us to remember to stay calm because we do get amped up quite a bit. But when we come to the middle together and have a little talk, we take a little breather, and then we seem to come out from that. So that's good.
What are your academic goals?
My academic goals, so I would like to go into social work, and I've applied to Ottawa and Nipissing University. I'm going to send in my application, very soon. And I would just like to work with kids.
Why? What would make you feel like working with kids is a good career for you?
I just love to help people, and I really enjoy spending time with them, and I love conversations with them. I think it's so much fun. I worked at One Kid's Place in the summer, and I had an amazing time. I was a camp counselor.
Another girls volleyball action. Algonquin senior and junior teams beat West Ferris on Tuesday evening. The juniors went 4 games. But the seniors had to go 5, and it was touch and go. But Algonquin remained victorious. The game at Algonquin between West Ferris was canceled for some other tournament or something. I found out, thankfully, before I went there. Yeah. And I got directed over to Scollard, so I got to see the Chippewa senior boys basketball team play the Scollard senior team. And great game, 3-point game, right down to the wire. The Bears... we were down 9, then they were down 6, and down 3. It was one of those great games. Kind
of clawback games, trying to pick the points up as you can, every possession here and there.
Yeah, it was great. And I think the Bears beat Chippewa in the first game of the season because they had a bunch of them had just come back from the volleyball
OFSA that they were at in Kingston,
right? So this game went a little bit different. And Chippewa, I heard, beat Algonquin, which is the favored the team to beat this year, the senior guys, right? So close game. Gentleman that we interviewed, Tristan Landreau, in that game that they ended up beating. He got 15 points in the 4th quarter. Really? But it wasn't enough. Their big guy, I guess he hurt his ankle, so he wasn't 100%. So Algonquin, Mark Robertson was saying that they're the team to beat this year. So I'm really interested in seeing the West Ferris team play Algonquin next. But the Chippewa looks like they got their thing happening. And so Charlie Smith, who was the only guy on the score sheet with the last name, got 21 points in the victory for Chippewa. Peter C. chipped in 12. Seamus G. and Riley O. chipped in 9 each. And this is a bone of contention for me. Like, it's right in their last names. Come on. Or I have to go get the rosters.
I see it all the time too. You're like, really? We're not going to put a kid's name on the score sheet here because somebody's going to what?
Yeah. They're writing it out quick. I know. I did this myself, but I always put the last names because I knew as a reporter.
But most of these game sheets now are all going digital anyways. You're like, push a button and it uploads your whole roster and share it. So
not in the NDA.
Well, we got.
But we can get them there. We can get them there.
Well, Bonnie talked. I'm gonna look up that sports software after that Bonnie mentioned and seeing what they can maybe do to help us with these NDA problems. Yeah.
I had a good interview with Seamus Gagne, which should be easy for me to say because I'm Irish, and Gagne is actually my mother's maiden name, and she's German. Right, and you don't see Gagne that often as a German name, but
I feel maybe because of hockey and the number of Gagnes that have been in it, that name doesn't scare me as much. But yeah, if I didn't know that and I had to read that with my basic reading skills of how I butcher other names, then yeah, I can see how you could really Gagne in different ways.
Well, let's listen to Seamus in the interview. It's really kind of cool. Whenever I've talked to the student athletes, I ask them about their potential academic careers. And he said that he's interested in going to university for science. And so I was like, automatically, we hear about the Legos, the robotics. I figured he's involved with something like that. And he goes, no, I just like science. Yeah. You guys just handled the Bears that were trying to close the gap at the end. Describe your team's ability to beat them this time.
It's all the guys working hard. It's sticking to our schemes, locking in on defense, and getting offensive plays out of it.
What's your record so far?
3-1. 3-1?
Did you guys just
3-1. Yeah, just beat Algonquin last night.
We'll talk about that game as well, if you don't mind. Tell me about the win over Algonquin. Seems to be the team to beat this year.
Yeah, absolutely. They came out with tough defense. We were hitting our shots. Got out to a big lead. They made a big run in the fourth quarter, and we managed to keep the lead, close it out. It was good.
Similar to this game, really, although you were in the lead, the Bears kept trying to claw back, and you were able to pull off some threes.
Yeah, that's what I pride myself on. It wasn't falling too much tonight, but it's kind of just keep shooting mentality,
Tell me about some of the other players on the veteran players returning this year, and what makes them strong.
I think our versatility. We got guys who can play defense. We got guys who pass the ball. We got guys who shoot. We're really strong everywhere, and I think that's going to be our biggest strength this year.
Number 35 there had nice little stuff there at the end that kind of put an exclamation point on it. Tell me about him.
He's our everything guy. We put him at point guard, we put him at the 5. He does everything for us. Blair's tough. What's his name? Blair Nakaji.
Who do you play next?
Franco Thursday.
What do they like?
We played them in a tournament. Got a pretty big win, but they've got some good guys who can definitely do some work.
Do you think you got a team that can go all the way there with into NASA?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm confident in all of us. 100%.
What's your academic goals?
Next year, going to university, hopefully becoming a science teacher someday. Yeah, that's about it.
Well, science is pretty cool. What do you like about science?
Kind of everything about it, I guess. It's just interesting to figure out how everything works, really.
What's good about being at Chippewa?
The teachers are amazing. The athletics, we win all the time. It's great to keep winning. We've got great coaches, great athletes everywhere. Yeah, it's good.
All right, so next up, we're going to have a conversation. You got a chance to talk with Mike Mitchell. We were former neighbors in the Park Pinewood area, but Mike's moved out to the lake, so now we just exchange highs and say neighbors. But Mike's just, I've known Mike for a really long time when his kids have been active in hockey, but then made a big shift over to basketball. And Mike's been a driving force behind the Spartans. I think he's kind of stepped back a little bit, but continues to work with Chippewa and really helped grow that Spartans program into where it is. And, loves basketball, a great basketball player himself. I think he played at Queens, and he both played and won some championships at Chippewa as a player and came back as soon as he got back to town. So, well,
his family has a long history of basketball in North Bay, and there's Sports Hall of Fame awards after his, I think his father or uncle. Anyways, so the Mitchell name is well known.
Yeah.
Well-spoken guy, chiropractic, right?
So he's physio. Yeah. Physio. So they got the clinic Mitchell and Martel over on Castle Street. I was going to call it Fraser, but it's definitely Castle's. Yes. And yeah, like it's I had to go in and get some treatment there this year, and I was amazed at what a process. Like how many people are coming in and going and getting worked on, and it's quite the operation he's got.
I actually asked him because I knew he had the physiotherapy business there. One of the players for the Bears was wearing a knee brace. And I'm like, should they really be playing if they need a knee brace when they're teenagers? Because, one, they're still growing, they should heal, and they're more likely probably to, further hurt themselves. And it's funny, he goes, funny you ask. That's my knee brace. My knee brace I gave him. But he told me about how they have a back to competitive play protocol, and they have to reach certain strength things and be able to do certain things before they would
Yeah, and I think that the technology and that stuff's evolved so much that and you see a lot of football teams where the guys are all wearing them, and it's not because they need them yet. It's more of a preventative. But
he used another word I can't probably say very well. Protheatric.
You're gonna move into my science world that doesn't work either. So yeah, and I can't pronounce things. So yeah, so
preventative measure anyway.
Preventative measures, yeah. So yeah, working towards making sure that the kids are safe, and just just the other day, like my daughter, my oldest, is struggling with like some back pain playing hockey, and I'm just starting to wonder, like, is it overtraining? Is it not? We talked to Rachel about all of the ACL injuries, and they've actually got another girl on the team now going through an ACL. They just got the diagnosis back. So, I mean, there's something there to these young athletes, and, it's a question for somebody with a little more research and data into it, but like, are they overtraining, not cooling down, not doing enough of that to take care of their bodies while we're running all over the place, playing all these games?
Straight out of the rink into the car and a long ride home.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to get a sore back.
I also even wonder too, and I said this to my daughter, I'm like, look, I'm not trying to pick on you, but like, does leaning over your phone and doing that while you're sitting in the car, like, that can't be good for your back. I don't know if that's causing the problem, but yeah, I definitely. So yeah, it'd be a great conversation maybe to have with Mike one day in here.
But let's have Ben for an interview, because I know he has a lot of sports and athletic healing knowledge. So it'd be good. So let's talk basketball with Mike in this interview. You've been with the program for quite a while, and it looks like you developed quite the team here. What are their strengths?
Our team strength is our depth and our shooting and poise.
And how do you train them for that?
Well, lots of reps. We try to get lots of games in. It's tough with the snow days. It cancels games and practices, and we have a condensed schedule where you play everyone twice, and you got a Christmas break and you got an exam break in the winter season, so you don't get as much practice time as you'd like. So there's a lot of coaching during the games, substitutions, provide coaching on the bench, timeouts, halftime, meetings before the games. You got to squeeze it in.
So you're an assistant this year. Tell me about the head coach.
Yeah, Mitch Gagne's been coaching at Chippewa for many years, different levels, grades 7 and 8, junior basketball and senior basketball. He's coached with the North Bay Spartans club program as well. It's nice for Mitch this year because Seamus Gagne is one of our captains, and that's his son in his final year. So nice for Mitch to be at the helm. And my son Gavin's in grade 11, so he's got another year to go.
Tell me about the basketball in North Bay, where it seems to be going.
Yeah, basketball's in a really good place in North Bay, Dave. We've grown the North Bay Spartans club program for both boys and girls. Started with the elementary program about 8 years ago. Got a lot of momentum, a lot of younger teams going. And we're seeing the fruits of that labor now. Some of those kids that started when they were 8 or 9 with the Spartans program are now in grade 11 and 12. And you can see that they played around the province. They played against some of the best competition in the province. And it raised the level of basketball in North Bay. Last year, for instance, our Chippewa junior team won the NASA title and played West Ferris in the final. It was an all-North Bay final with both teams beating perennial powerhouses Llewellyn and LaSalle in the semifinals. So that was a big moment for Chippewa basketball. On the girls' side as well, the Spartans program has 5 rep teams this year, and they're into their season now that their high school season's done. And we're always looking for more players to come in at age 9, 10, 11, and coaches as well. If anyone's interested, they should get in contact with North Bay Spartans through social media pages.
Well, Saturday night, Memorial Gardens, 8 o'clock, place to be for an NDA hockey matchup. Chippewa is going to be playing Algonquin. Next Wednesday at 8 p.m. at the Sam Jacks Arena, Algonquin and the Bears play. And Friday, December 20th at 10 a.m. at Memorial Gardens, we have Chippewa and the Bears, and that's going to be a good game.
So 10 a.m. game must be, is that a PD day?
I don't know.
Or is that a early out of school fun? That would be great if the kids could all kind of walk down to that.
You know what we're missing this year is the East-West game. Nobody even talked about it.
So I would have to go back and find out where East-West kind of fell off. I'm not even sure it came out of COVID.
No, I don't think so. I haven't heard from
What
it.
has come up and has been just amazing to see and has sort of taken its place is the Jack Lions game that Chippewa and West Ferris put together. Mm-hmm. And it's been run by students, really. Like I've been able to, a couple of years ago, we loaned them our Source for Sports jerseys to wear for it as a team so they at least look like it. And I went to check it out, did a small donation to it. They were, kids paid to come out of school. The arena was jam-packed, and it was unbelievable. So they started with, I know the North Bay North Stars special needs team participated in a bit of an exhibition with some of the sort of like an NDA All-Stars. And then I know the boys and girls, like they've got a whole thing planned out, but it kind of is the East-West experience for the kids. And, I know Vaughn Thompson at the store. He's now gone off to McGill. But he was heavily involved along with a few other kids from the student council. So I'll have to find out when that game and what the plan is for this year. But that would be, it's really something to see when the stadium's full of screaming kids, like cheering on. It's really cool to watch NDA hockey then.
Well, it'd be interesting what people know about what happened with East-West and seemingly it's replacement.
I think, yeah. So
whatever works.
Yeah.
So I got a question for you, Paul.
Yeah, go ahead, Dave.
Why are you sponsoring your own sports show?
Well, so I don't butcher anyone's live reads. It's a lot easier if it's my own. The reason for it, when Scott and you guys asked me to come on the first time and talk about baseball, that was amazing. And it really tied into a lot of things that I'm looking to do at Source for Sports as we continue to grow our brand and our involvement in town. And that's the stuff I've touched on, where we're doing connected sports and trying to work with different sports associations, bring people together, make sports, let's cut down some barriers that kids have to playing. And, this is just an amazing place for me to get research from talking to these great interviews and learning stuff and to make some positive change. So the store is really, from the start, was always about making sure you had the right product, giving you the expertise and the knowledge that we have, but also not being pushy or aggressive. We want you to have the right thing. We want to make sure your kids are wearing the right equipment. So, I've said this before with hockey for beginners and stuff. If your next door neighbor gave your child a helmet to wear to start out, and you're not sure if it fits right or if it's got all the right screws, you can come in our store and just ask one of our staff, and they'll be happy to make sure it fits your child, make sure we got the right screws in it, all of these little things. To me, it's a really long journey of sports. I love it. I couldn't imagine doing anything else with my kids, and we want to help people along the way in their journey with it. So, yeah, it just seemed like a natural fit to tie into a sports broadcast. So I'm having a lot of fun doing it, and thought I'd step up to the table too.
Well, right on. Well, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. So with that, we're going to move on to our spotlight interview with Bonnie from Partners.
Yeah, Bonnie Zufelt. What a great wealth of knowledge, and what a dynamo. Right on. So you're going to enjoy this one. Our guest today is Bonnie Zufelt. She's got a long history in North Bay with sports. We're going to talk mostly about billiards, the popularity of it, and what you're doing at the Partners Billiards. But we're also going to touch your fastball connections and your history here in North Bay, playing fastball as a competitive person, and some of the research you did about the city's history of fastball. So welcome, Bonnie.
Yeah, thank you very much. Happy to be here.
Great to have you.
We could have had this recording down and played some pool.
Yes, we could have.
Yeah. But it's usually packed there. You run a busy spot.
Yes, it is. It's been going on 25 years now, and the pool league is something that kind of started when back in the day I worked for a vending company and had pool tables out in different bars and stuff, and started losing the pool tables. So I happened to read an article about this VNEA, Valley National 8-Ball Association pool leagues. And there was some people down south doing them that were vending machine operators as well. So after checking into that, I thought, jeepers, it sounds like a pretty interesting thing to keep your pool tables. But you ended up having to start running pool leagues, and and especially being a female in it, I wasn't a pool player. I was one that would, from time to time, if I went out to the bar, would shoot some pool, but I certainly wasn't very good. But so it started off at 4 or 5 different bars in town, and of course back in those days when I first started, it was more or less getting the bar people that were signing up. Yeah. And over the years, as it transitioned, different people started to play. So then the wives started coming in, the girlfriends started to come in, families started to come in, and then we had a junior league, and it just kept growing. And then finally to the point that, I had decided to go with my own facility and run pool leagues out of that rather than trying to run from bar to bar. And, of course, you had drinking and driving and everything too, so that was always a concern. I was traveling from North Bay up as far as Warren down to Mattawa, so I kind of had leagues running everywhere. And so finally, got into finding out about Bay Distributors from Carl Cruson, and went in and very quickly said, okay, we'll leave the bowling on the upper floor, change the downstairs, because it was sort of old 10-pin machines there. Okay. Actually came from the old Four Seasons, so the equipment was pretty old. Ended up just putting the floor over top of the old bowling lanes and threw the pool tables in, and just a huge success, since then. And billiards is still continuing.
I was there the other day, and you got a seniors league, and during the middle of the afternoon, it was packed.
Who'd have thought, right?
Yeah.
I was the first one in Canada to do the seniors league, when we started it out, it's like anything else. You have a growing population that's starting to age, and thought, well, maybe I should look at targeting that specific market. So put it in the afternoon at 1:30 in the afternoon. So, you got different calibers of play. So obviously, if you're a recreational player, you don't want to be playing against somebody who's very strong. So, we have enough players now that I could divisionalize based on each category's capability. So you've got a recreational division, intermediate, and then up to some fairly strong players. So
do you have a handicapping system of some sort?
Yeah. It's funny you should say that, because there's a company, some guys in Rouyn-Noranda that for their own sort of in-house started a program for running pool leagues, and then they had come to see me, and I thought, oh yeah, here's another one of these things that, there's going to be the perfect one. So I gave him a chance, and sure enough, it was absolutely incredible. So then I said, what about a tournament? Can you see what you can do about hooking up? I have a pretty big tournament once a year there with about 300 players. So they said, yeah, let's see what we can do. And then they said their goal was to get to the World Championships in Vegas. So I said, well, I know the guy that's going to get you there. So come down to London for our provincial. You set up down there. Let's see what you can do. If you can impress Gary, we'll get you to Vegas. And sure enough, that year they ended up in Vegas. And these are coming from Rouen, and now they're doing all the major world tournaments and everything else. These guys have just set the pool leagues on fire, and they've all quit their jobs and are working for the company now, winning award after award. But what they've done to the pool industry has been absolutely amazing, because before it was kind of, a human thing. We'd have a committee together and we'd decide what ranking you should be or what ranking you should be. And there was always an element of error in there. It didn't matter what you did. Where now, with these guys, they've managed to get everything all computerized. And they have a computer ranking system that does all that work for us. And it's been absolutely incredible what they've managed to. So we started that in North Bay and Rouen. Slowly grew with that. And now, this year, the World Championships in Vegas are starting to implement that with their leagues around the world. So... again, from Rouen, Miranda, who would have known, right? So.
North Bay Echo is proud to partner with Twigs Coffee Roasters, a part of the community since 1995. Twigs offers a wide selection of quality beans, fresh roasted in-house every day. Find your favorite specialty drinks at our espresso bar. Rejuvenate with freshly squeezed juice, or treat yourself to mouth-watering selections from our gourmet deli. And don't forget our irresistible fresh baked goods, including uncompromising gluten-free options. Twigs has 5 locations to serve you, from North Bay to Sturgeon Falls to Sudbury. Order online for pickup at twigs.ca. And coming soon, you'll be able to order fresh roasted coffee beans direct to your doorstep from our distribution center in North Bay.
Well, that was really cool. I could just see Bonnie behind the plate there.
Calling balls, calling for the drop that she wanted, or the risers.
Knowing how to sort of be the drill sergeant of a team out there, right? The catchers get to see the game totally different than everybody else.
That perspective where you can see everybody's watching you, and you get to let them know where to go and what's happening with the play, and it's a lot of fun. I always enjoyed it too, because it kept you in the game. And you can just see it from talking to her. Like, I was fascinated by just that the business model. Like, she not a pool player herself to begin with, and found through work and saw an opportunity. So the entrepreneur in me just thinks that's another amazing story to unpack more of, like to create such a successful business that Partners is.
Well, that was just a part of the interview. Go to our YouTube channel, North Bay Echo on YouTube, and you'll see the full interview.
So that's we've done all of our NDA stuff. So we'll maybe switch over. There's one bit of Nipissing Lakers news to announce that just came out. So 2 local former Ice Bowl junior Lakers, actually, Madison Desmarais and Mallory Domenico, have been selected for Team Canada at the World University Games, and those are going to be in January from the 12th to the 22nd in Torino, Italy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
that's kind of cool.
I know Maria Domenico played last year, or maybe it was 2 years ago, and they were in Lake Placid.
Yes.
So really cool experience, and cool for both sisters to be a part, and hopefully our girls can bring home gold.
That would be nice. Yeah. Italian gold.
Yeah. So, and then on to the Junior Lakers, girls hockey. This, to give you an idea for people that don't understand just how busy hockey tournament travel can be, this was a big weekend for the Junior Lakers girls. So running through just off the top here, the U18 AA girls, they participated in a 2 Nations Cup down in Brampton. So there were 40 teams from Canada and the U.S. I know there was a team from BC that they beat, and then ended up, so they went 2-1 in the round robin. 16 teams moved on, and they were one of them, but they unfortunately lost to the Subway Selects from Halifax in a 3-2 shootout. The overtime was unbelievable, and they just couldn't find a way to bury it with lots of chances. So disappointing that they got knocked out, but they played really well, and it was great to see. It was really good hockey. The U18A team was in Whitby, and they had a really tough draw. They went 0-3-1 in their round robin games, but very close games, and unfortunately didn't advance. Then the U15As, they went 3-0-1 in their round robin, and they ended up winning gold medal over Sudbury on Sunday. The U13As, so that's actually my daughter Brooklyn's team. We went 3-0-1 in the semifinal or in the round robin, and only gave up 1 goal, and then ended up losing 1-0 to Sudbury in the semifinals. So it was a tight game, could have gone either way. Girls worked really hard. A lot of sick girls in that dressing room. You could just hear the hacking.
You're sounding
and
a
coughing.
little rough now, right now.
I think so too. Just
I'm
too
gonna
much.
have to go get my vitamin D.
Well, being around those girls, I was pretty scared of coming home with something. The U13B team also went 3-0-1 in their round robin, and they ended up advancing to the finals where they won 2-1 over Oshawa. And then the U11As went 2-2, missed out on the playoff round, and the U11Bs went 0-2-2 and also didn't advance. The U9 House League Blue team participated in a Sudbury showcase, and so that was a great opportunity for them to get some hockey, and they don't keep score at that point yet, but it's a good experience for the kids to get out and play some extra. The U13 House League were in East Ottawa. They went 1-1-1 in their round robin and then didn't advance. And the U18 House League earned their first wins of the season down in Huntsville. So that was a big weekend for junior Lakers hockey.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, good report.
Well, I do have to thank...
Way to go, Peter Parker.
I definitely did borrow some information that I found online, but yeah. And again, for all those, we're going to push this out to junior Lakers, and I've got some photos and stuff, but I'm going to encourage any parents that are watching, people that have come up and said, "Oh, this is great that we're doing it." Shoot me some video. If you got some highlights or whatever, all these games are being streamed on Facebook. I just need somebody to start getting some clips together for us. Yeah.
So interesting news coming out of City Council, actually. Mayor Peter Chirico put a notice of motion, where he was proposing that the new twin pad going into the O'Michelle, the community center, to be named after Butch Turcotte, specifically. And that's caused a few stories, and there's a little bit of a poll on Bay Today about the topic.
Yep.
The poll up there is: do you think the name of the arena should be after a corporate sponsor or a local personality? Corporate to generate some revenue, or a person to honor a local individual, or neither? What do you think?
Well, I think calling it a North Bay Arena doesn't make a lot of sense. So I do think that it's important to, honor past champions of sport in North Bay. So I think we've shown that. The corporate angle would be really nice if you could find somebody and it could help offset some costs. Although I just don't know who you're going to actually find that's knocking on the door or who's out trying to find and secure that. I don't really know.
Source for Sports Palace.
Yeah, the Taj Mahal Ice Palace, brought to you by Source for Sports.
Yeah.
No, I really do think, and we had Darren on, and he had, I think, for him, really focusing on Noah Dugas and that. So, I mean, it's great. It's I think this is one we can have a good discussion on as a city. I don't think it's going to be nearly as controversial or upsetting to people.
Are you kidding? We're talking about people with relatives and friends and long routes in North Bay. It'll be a shit show.
I think there'll be a lot of people who have, lots of comments. I guess I just feel like it's going to be more reserved to the people that are actually in it, as opposed to all of the people who have been throwing stones from the sides that don't have anything to do with sports and want to criticize spending any money on it. So that's just my personal beef.
I'm not 100% thinking that Butch Turcotte is the right person to name after that arena myself. Even though respect the guy, did a lot for hockey. He had that outdoor rink, the Brush Forum.
The Brush Forum,
yeah. And out in that West Ferris area. And what he did in hockey was nobody else has achieved. As far as winning national midget championship, and
The provincial
provincial
championship with the
junior
Trappers.
championship, and strong involvement, hockey camps and other things. Definitely worth considering. I would think if I had to choose between Darren Turcotte and his father Butch, I would think that the Turcotte arena would be where you'd want to go to combine the two father-son things. Because combined together, they've done more than anybody else that I can think of as far as a family involved with hockey, with Darren's coaching with the Nipissing Lakers, his NHL career, and that would, if they could come up with something like that. But you start talking about different individuals in North Bay, and for naming, there's a ton of guys that played in the NHL. Like there's Kenny Warham right out of West Ferris. He went to Tweedsmuir. He played for the Blackhawks. I think probably the most skilled hockey player to come out of North Bay to go to the professional level. And his career was cut short by injury. But, there's guys like that. There's
Craig Rive was captain of the Montreal Canadiens.
There's that.
Pretty good gig.
Right? Pretty good, right?
Yeah.
And there's, they're probably going to be replacing Pete Pelangio.
Yeah.
Right? And so what's going to happen with that?
So we've got the Kelly side of Pete Pelangio and then the DeMarco side.
Yeah. But you know what? And this is what's going to be debated. I think the Noah Strong, as part of that foundation for a name, is a really strong name. It brings the Noah Dugas, legacy.
It continues to expand on the legacy and tell the story, which I think North Bay should take a lot of pride in. How they've supported this and supported the family through such a terrible tragedy and helped to create such a positive from it. So, I don't think there's any
looks like
expiry date on that name or anything.
And it brought the hockey community together when it needed to come together, really.
It does, and that ball hockey tournament that they put on every summer, or spring, it's you go to that, and for me, from a business side of it, and from being so involved in the hockey, it's just this, celebration of youth hockey, and if you haven't been, it's hard to get to because there's nowhere to park. There's so many people jammed in the calendar at the Bill Barber Sportsplex. And speaking of names of arenas, maybe we need another outdoor rink, and we should name that one after Butch.
I like that idea.
Outdoor
at West
arena.
Ferris Arena.
That would work too.
There used to be an outdoor rink there,
and it was just sort of built into. I think it would, kind of help carry the legacy of the LaBreche Forum too. But.
Yeah. Or there's a lot of different options, and I love the conversation because it can be debated, and I think it's. I hate to be critical of the mayor, but it's coming out of left field here to actually promote one name over everybody else's before it's even discussed, right?
I'm not going to provide a whole lot of good debate because I agree with everything you're saying. It's just not. It does seem like we've maybe put a cart in front of the horse here. We'll get there. There's a few other things. I'm glad the shovels were in the ground. Unfortunately, I missed that on Thursday. I was heading to Whitby, but
I know it not to name that twin pad.
Yeah.
It better not be the Anthony Rhoda rink or the Al McDonald rink or anybody that was an elected official rink.
I can't see this going to any politician. I mean, I know Anthony fought really hard to get the government, the green energy thing.
I think they would actually agree with me.
The flip side to me, I don't think that's necessarily where that, and that's what I worry too, but was that that is where that Ice Palace comment and Taj Mahal and a legacy. And I can tell you from all of these parents like myself that go down to all these and have listened to this thing drag out forever. When are we going to build a rink? When are we going to build a rink? And these drawings of some insane trident that, I've been in 500 arenas in my life. I've never been in a trident rink. Like, come down to these places. These are boxes with blowers in them, keeping it cold. You don't need a whole ton of stands.
That vein in your forehead is going.
Am I getting a little I drank some water, but like, it's just like, it doesn't need to be like every one of these schools that gets built, and it's got to be some architect's dream and somebody's, way of putting a stamp on it. We just need these things to move. And I just hope that whatever we do in terms of coming to a name doesn't go to some ridiculous committee outside of North Bay that, hire a consultant and just miss the boat. Like, let's just find a way to honor the right people. And let's really look at Noah
definitely
Strong.
need some community input.
Yeah.
And I think the smart move at council is to say that's a great idea, but let's look at it a little further. Just because, it deserves a little bit longer thought than just a proposal like that.
And this might be a great way for the city of North Bay to begin to involve their users with some of these decisions.
Yeah.
So come find us. You're not sure who to ask? Come ask me. I know a few people that would love to sit and have a conversation, and they're the ones that have been around it and seen it in a lot of places. So,
but if I had to, just write it out right now, how it would be, just from what I understand about North Bay and the community, I would say that the Noah Strong arena with the Butch ice pad and the Darren ice pad is an easy thing.
I think it's an easy win, and it makes a lot of people happy and does a good job of tying a lot of things together, because this has been a long time coming.
Right on. So that's all we have for you this week. The Echo Essentials. Which podcast
Echo
am I in
Spotlight
today?
Essentials Sportcast. Okay, a shirt with all of them on there.
Who the hell came up with these names? Oh, yeah. Thank you for watching our Sportcast number 13.
Lucky we made it.
Yeah.
I'm Paul McLean.
And I'm Dave Dale. Please like, share, comment. We need it.
And send us videos.
Yeah, and send videos. And your results with last names.